welcome to this edition of CoffeeNate.com. I'm Nate Smith, otherwise known as Coffee Nate, and this week I'm going to talk to you about something controversial in the specialty coffee industry. It's known as Starbucks. Now, I'm outside here today because it's been such an awesome week weather-wise. For one, it's 8 o'clock at night. It's still 75 degrees out here, so I really wanted to get outside, and not to mention my kids are really loud, and they're not out here, they're in there. So this is a little better atmosphere to be in. So I'm going to talk to you about Starbucks today. Now, Starbucks in the specialty coffee industry is viewed upon in exceptionally negative light. Now, I don't know if that's the coffee snobbery of people, that they look down on Starbucks, which I can understand to a point, but you know, Starbucks has its followers, obviously. They have 17,000 stores in 49 countries. And when they started out, they were smaller, and their objective was to bring the European coffee house style to North America. And they succeeded on that objective by making what was termed as the third place. It's not home. Home is your first place, work is your second place. This is the third place, you know, like the diner on Seinfeld, or the cafe on Friends, or, you know, it's that third place that you identify with, that you can hang out in. So that's what they wanted to bring. They didn't want to bring the Dunkin' Donuts, you know, a counter, some tables, you know. They wanted to create atmosphere, and they succeeded when they were small. And nowadays, it's gotten too commercial. You can't replicate the same thing throughout the entire world and have it equal the same thing to all people. So they've kind of gotten away from that, and it's kind of fallen back on them negatively. Now with Starbucks, you have a huge following that they have, and you have a segment of people who are drinking garbage coffee. Out of the whole network of coffee lovers, you have garbage coffee lovers, which are like Folgers and below, and then you have the Starbucks people, and then you have the premium quality specialty coffee people up here. When I first started drinking coffee, I was down here in this bottom group. Didn't know anything about coffee, obviously, except for, okay, it comes in a can and you put it in a coffee maker, and that's how everybody drinks coffee, right? It's all the same, just has different labels on it. So who cares? Drink store brand coffee. And I used to think that Folgers is way up here, which most people do. Most coffee drinkers are canned coffee drinkers. It's changing now, but the vast majority are down there. So when I thought of the best coffee, I always thought Folgers Maxwell House, which today I think of as trash, right? Pre-stale garbage, which I would never even think of drinking anymore. So that's the coffee snob in me, right? But up here you have specialty coffee, premium coffee. This stuff's 15 bucks a pound, and you gotta grind it, you know. People look at you goofy if you want it ground. It's like there's no middle ground here. You have to get, how do you get from here to there? So that's what Starbucks is now. That's their place. You have to give them props for actually educating people a little bit in specialty coffee and espresso-based drinks, for one. So I think that Starbucks really helps the specialty coffee industry by being that middle step, by bridging that gap between garbage and the Rolls Royce, right? You have to have something between the tricycle and the Rolls Royce. Let's face it, today Starbucks is like the McDonald's of specialty coffee. It's the bottom of the line, but it is still in that realm, right? It's that middle ground. It's not Folgers. I would pick Starbucks over Folgers any day of the week. I don't care. Except for maybe the Via. Yuck. So that's, to me, what Starbucks is. It is that bridging that gap it is bringing people in. And if you love Starbucks, I'm not going to look down at you for liking Starbucks. I'm not going to look down at you for liking store brand junkie coffee. I'm a coffee snob and I won't drink it myself, but that's because I was there at one point, but I stretched myself. And then I learned more and more, and then, you know what? I like lighter roasted coffee because I like the fresh premium taste of the different origins and grinding my own and not drinking stale, rancid, oil flavored coffee. It's gross. Things I hate about Starbucks, which I concur with everybody else in the specialty coffee industry, is they're too commercial. They're way too huge. You can't replicate that and stay successful and keep quality control. Second, the absolute murdering of a coffee drink. They killed the macchiato. They called it a caramel macchiato, which is actually the Starbucks caramel macchiato is a caramel flavored latte. Why they decided to change that to mean caramel macchiato, I don't know, because there was already a drink called the macchiato. It's espresso stained with milk. Just a little teeny bit. Boop. Just a little drop. Okay? Not mashed full of caramel syrup and a bunch of milk. A macchiato is not a girly drink. But that's what Starbucks made it. It's like Starbucks decided, you know what, when people ask for chocolate milk, we're going to hand them Coca-Cola. And pretty soon, every time somebody came in the store and asked for chocolate milk, they gave them Coca-Cola. They began to think that, you know what, Coca-Cola is chocolate milk. So then they go to a place that knows what they're talking about, order a chocolate milk, somebody hands them chocolate milk, and they're like, what's this? You don't know what you're doing. So they really trashed the macchiato. And how can I forget Via, the absolutely most repulsive invention that they could have ever even envisioned, was this vile beverage. I don't even call it coffee because it's absolutely disgusting. But you know what? Some people love it. Great. Good for you. But you know what? If you love Starbucks stuff, try some other specialty stuff. It's not that expensive, and you know what? It's much cheaper than Starbucks when you price it per cup and do it yourself at home. And you can buy brewers for under 25 bucks that will make you an awesome cup of coffee. So, Starbucks, huge props for expanding knowledge of specialty coffee. Huge props for bringing the atmosphere to the coffee house. Huge props for getting people to pay $5 for a cup of coffee. Detriments, burnt beans, the caramel macchiato, Via, and just way too commercial. That's my thoughts on Starbucks. Don't forget about the coffee contest this month, sponsored by Coffees of Hawaii. So how you enter that contest is just leaving a comment on any blog post. This blog post, you know what, I want to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts about Starbucks? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? What do you hate about what I said? What do you like about what I said? I want to hear it. I want to interact with you. So leave those comments, and you might win some coffee for doing that. You can get perpetual entry into every coffee contest at CoffeeNate.com by joining the email list or joining the Facebook fan page at facebook.com/CoffeeNate1. And the email list is up at the top right-hand corner of this page. Coffees of Hawaii is this month's sponsor. There's going to be 3 winners. 3 of you will win some free coffee from them. And it's produced, roasted, ground, packaged, whole bean, whatever you want, all in the USA. It's all processed in the US, grown in the US, roasted in the US, and it is the all-American coffee beverage. North America, no fair trade issues to worry about, no direct trade issues to worry about, because it's all produced in a region that has regulated working rules, okay? Standards that they must abide by. All right, join me on Monday for the next video. That's just in a couple days from now, and it's going to be a video of my trip to Intelligentsia in Chicago when I was there with my lovely wife for our anniversary, and I had to drag her into Intelligentsia. And so make sure you check that out Monday, and we'll see you next time at CoffeeNate.com. Thanks for joining me, CoffeeNate.com, where there's always something brewing. Yeah!